Hello, welcome to this A Star to G briefing. Today I want you to put yourself in your learner's shoes, and I want you to think about their opinions of your teaching and your lessons. I'm going to ask you to think about your learner's perceptions of what goes on in your classroom, in your studio or workshop. I'm going to ask you to consider a number of points and then to think about what your learner's view might be. So let's try one and you'll see what I mean. Okay, here's the question, or here's the statement. We start by reviewing what we learned last session and what we already know about the topic. Okay, there's the statement. So my question to you is, do your learners think that often? Would they sometimes think that? Or would they never think that? I'll give you the statement again. We start by reviewing what we learned last session and what we already know about the topic. I think a good lesson requires that to be part of the exposition, part of the startup of the lesson. I think you need to establish that your learners experience that often. So if they were asked that question, they say, oh yeah, we always do that. We'll try another one. Our learning objectives are written up where we can see them. Okay, same question. Do your learners think that often? Do they think that sometimes? Or do they think that never? You want the statement again, I know. Our learning objectives for the session are written up where we can see them. Now you might say, well, I don't need to write up the learning objectives because I tell them. I understand that. The question is whether or not it helps to have them written up. Maybe it sets a more commonly understood target or objective for that lesson. Maybe it helps remind learners where they're heading. We'll try one more and you can think about this one. The classroom, or workshop, or studio, is a friendly place to be in. Often, sometimes, or never. What would your learners think? Now I've got lots of these questions and each of them is intended to be just some stimulus for you to think about how you plan and deliver your teaching and how that impacts on your learners and what their overall perception is. Now we all know that learner voice or student surveys or learner evaluation, pupil evaluations are an increasingly significant part of the way that quality assurance is done and the way that lesson observation and of course preparation for inspection is done. So asking yourself these questions now will help you to identify any gaps in the way that you deliver and help you really build on your existing good practice in the hope and intention that it becomes outstanding. You want one more question before we finish this little session? Okay, I'm looking through the list. Here's one. We take part in active discussions. I know what you're thinking. Do my learners think that often? Would they say that that sometimes happened? Or would they say that it never happens? It's always the same three parameters, often, sometimes, or never. So think about your teaching and think about what would your learners think. And we'll pick up some more of these in the next A Star to G briefing. I'll see you then. Thank you.